Hey guys, it's Monday. If you didn't know, I just read the clock at the top of my screen and it's telling me it's Monday, June 15th. And the year, if you've forgotten, is 2020. And I hope you're using all of your vision as I am. I try to use it every day. I look around, I see people staring at me and wondering, what is wrong with him? And I wonder, what is wrong with me? Well, let's find out. That's why we're here today. Actually, that's not true. It's not why we're here today. Today, we're here to talk to Brian Crowley, who is the lead singer of Global Ghost. And they are just surfacing in Savannah right now, as well as across the nation on Spotify. If you haven't looked them up yet, you need to, because they're amazing. I know Brian through the Ancient Order of the Hibernians, the AOH, the local section here in Savannah. And I attend almost zero of their meetings, which is sad for me because I know that it's a great brotherhood. I see it every day. And so I'm going to bring him out because I'm just rambling now and it's not very appealing. And people will start to wonder what's wrong with me. So here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Brian Crowley.
How are you, Chris?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thanks for the reminder about 2020. It is hard to remember sometimes.
It is. It really is.
And also that I should probably go to a meeting or two myself. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Are the meetings still going right now? I don't think they're going, are they?
Who knows? Maybe we should probably look into that.
Yeah.
No, I think just much like everything else is kind of on hold. Gathering old men gathering together. It's kind of not really essential at the moment. So, even though AOH does a lot of good things, a lot of charitable work and everything else, just getting together in the pub, just doesn't seem really kind of the best thing to do right now.
I did see that O'Connell's is open again.
Woohoo!
Yeah. I did also see that their basement flooded.
Yeah, that sucks. Sorry, Dano. But hopefully we'll make it up to you pints of Guinness down the road here soon enough.
There you go. Okay, so I have a couple of questions already. People are already asking questions of you.
Uh-oh.
Pull these people out. First of all, I don't think this is much of a question. As just a statement.
Well, I love that woman.
Yes, she is pretty great.
Yeah,
I do as well. She also wants to know, when does your album come out?
Well, that's a great question. Hoping by the end of the summer. I'm working with Andrew Savine at the moment on some tracks, and I think he's finishing the mix for a song called Idolize this week, and hoping to put it out for distribution next week. And that will be step one: get a new single out there, and then hopefully that buy us time to get the album finished, which is probably too long in coming now.
Yeah. So I realized by asking you that we're kind of jumping the gun here. We haven't really talked about the band or what you guys stand for or anything like that. I just said, when's the album come out?
Yeah, who's I don't know what you're talking about, really. I just thought, you tricked me into coming on this show, and I'm just, you called me drinking my cup of tea outside in the nice weather, and I'm just kind of going with it right now. So catch me up. Why are we here?
That's tea, right?
Yeah, good old cup of Irish Barry's tea and my King of Dad jokes.
Oh, nice.
Very,
like that.
Very proud of.
So you mentioned earlier, while we were not yet live, that you had somebody mowing the lawn next door.
Yeah, I mean, it could be next door. It could be, Ardsley Park. Who knows? But it's obnoxious. I don't know how these people get away with mowing their lawns at these terrible, rude hours of the day.
I agree, because now the same guy who was blowing leaves earlier is mowing the lawn. So I truly appreciate that. It's
obnoxious, but funnily enough, some people do this type of thing on purpose. My good friend Eric, who's also, who's an extremely talented musician, as I'm sure you're familiar with Eric Britt, he did a socially distanced get together or performance at his house, and everybody had to be out in the street. And some neighbors of his just obnoxiously decided to play some Christmas music, and they blared it out the speakers as loud as they could. And what is with people? I mean,
that is an interesting
Christmas
choice.
music is disgusting and obnoxious at best anyway. But in the, you know, in a pandemic and like this time of year, I mean, it's just not right.
What were they thinking?
I don't know. We still have to get to the bottom of that, you know.
Okay, so here's a question from our same mutual friend here, Bree. She wants to know, if you're new to Savannah, I'm going to put the word "to" in there because I know she was typing furiously, as she's known to do.
Yeah.
Or new to the music scene, how can people in Savannah find each other to collaborate? That is a great question.
That's an astonishing question. I love it. I'm trying to figure that out myself, you know, and especially in this environment of pandemic, I think like much like yourself, Chris, just kind of adapting and finding ways to do things like a lot of people are. Like Bree is with her, you know, with her front porch improv and all the great things that she and those guys do. But you know, you just have to get online, and I've actually kind of, it's given me an excuse to kind of to get some things going that like maybe procrastinated over, or you know, other things in life have gotten in the way, like having babies and stuff like that. And now it's you know, just you know, nuisance distractions like that. No, it's amazing how easy it is to do some things online, and I realize there might be an opportunity here because there's a lot of musicians kind of around town that can't perform and things like that, can't do shows. So what else are they doing? So now I'm trying to coax them into you know, doing some recordings with me. So every cloud has a silver lining, and so far I've worked with Andrew, as I mentioned earlier, and an amazing drummer by the name of Wes Little, and Eric, of course. We did a show in the park last weekend, and I'm also hoping to do some stuff with Jason Bible from the Trainwrecks. And so the online community is kind of coming together in this time. But was that her question? She asked great questions, and then I go.
Well, I'd say that somehow gets to her question. I would say that you know, you could use a group like a Facebook group. Savannah Musicians is out there. I'm not sure how much you use that.
Yeah.
I see postings there from time to time, but it's more like people who are curious about what's going on in Savannah, or are a musician or are new here. They usually post something there. I'm not sure people get back to them though.
Yeah, I don't think they want me in. That's, you know, they didn't want me to know about that, Chris. So they're probably going to be very mad at you.
Probably.
No, Eric also has this thing, this Facebook page that he started, which is pretty good. You know, when we were on the WTOC morning break, what was that, last week or this week? You know, it's all a bit of a blur, isn't it?
Yeah.
2020. I'm pretty sure that, thanks to your reminder. But when we did that, like, he posted on the Savannah Facebook page, you know, which, you know, is a group of musicians, performers, people in the arts business. And, you know, he posted something about that. And of course, there's been a lot of posts about his music and his shows. Yeah, and then of course there's your thing, your gig, right? You know, it's pretty cool what you guys are doing. The Savannah Performance Project. Right?
That's correct. You got it right. Yeah.
50-50. I don't normally get those.
Well, I'll tell you, I will look up Eric's stuff on Facebook and post it in here just so we can put Bree's question to bed and never even talk about it again.
Yeah.
Let's move forward, because I feel like standing in the same places. It's making my feet hurt.
Hey, we can't tell if you're sitting or standing. It's all good, you know.
I'm actually crouching.
You're crouching?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's working out well for you.
Yeah, it's getting a little painful. Anyway, so back to your band in particular, Global Ghost. What was the idea behind the name, first of all?
Okay, yeah, it was something pretty specific. Well, I can't remember how many years ago it was I moved from Ireland over here. Like I was telling you earlier, it's at least 12. It's somewhere 2004, 2005. So I might make it 2015 or so. And for years, I was kind of going back and forth between Ireland and the US, and kind of having one foot in each world. I still do. Obviously, my family and friends still live in Ireland, and I think I was listening to This American Life or something like that, and interviewing this American lady who had decided to move to Germany. She kind of had seemed like a very similar experience to me, except going the opposite direction across the pond, where she took an opportunity working in Germany, and she loved it. And she made lots of really good friends and loved the German culture, the food, everything else. But at some point, she found herself missing home and feeling that call to go home, which I have heard and felt many times over the years. And so she decided to pack up her stuff and move back home. And then when she got back to her hometown, she had the experience of realizing that it wasn't the same as it was when she left, that her friends had moved out of town, and just things were different, and people treated her a little differently because, her experience in Germany had changed her. And I remember very distinctly her saying that she felt like she was a ghost between worlds. And as soon as she said that, I was like, okay, that's exactly how I feel from time to time. So then the Global Ghost kind of was a play upon that, I guess. And most of my songs are kind of have that theme of that experience and the kind of being between two different worlds, and the emotions and the nostalgia that brings, and that kind of that sense of longing, and about the whole experience.
That sums it up.
Good.
Well, yeah, I get that. I get that whole idea of that, because I wouldn't say that I'm a global ghost, but I feel like a ghost whenever I go back home from here. I'm not from Savannah either.
Yeah.
But I've made it my home, so I definitely understand that. It's different. It's very different. I think if you don't stay where you grow up, or where you've if you go somewhere else and set your roots down, and that's where you decide to be your home, that's always going to be in I don't know. You said it better than I did.
No. You're like, I like to just get the conversation started, and it's like, talking about my songs. People ask me like, what on earth is this song about? And I like to give like a little bit of kind of tell them a little bit about it, but it's more fun to hear what they think the song is about. Because it takes on a life of its own. When it kind of translate differently for somebody else. So I love to hear this. And Savannah's full of ghosts. It's full of transient people like us, or like Dan and Bree. Just about half the people I know have come here from somewhere else, and we share similar experiences because of it. When I did my interview with David Lake last year at WRUU, he said the exact same thing, and of course Savannah also has that connotation, that link with the spooky world, of course.
Yeah.
That's not what the Global Ghost is really supposed to mean, but it definitely kind of just fits with the whole Savannah culture, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like our ghosts will be here one day, like our actual ghosts and the haunting.
Oh, Jesus, you didn't go there, did you?
I did.
Now
I
you
did.
totally
We'll all die someday.
Everybody's going to be just feeling depressed all day because they'll be thinking about their mortality, and then it's all your fault. So,
I feel like, I don't live my best life unless I'm constantly thinking about my best death.
What is your best death then?
My best death. Let's think about this. I think it has something to do with plummeting. And I don't think it's an intentional plummet. I think it's probably a forced plummet.
Yeah.
But I have to be doing something exciting at the same time.
Okay.
Not that the plummet itself isn't exciting, because everyone knows.
So falling out of the sky is not enough of just, not exciting enough for you. You have to be doing something else exciting.
Yeah, I think it has to have something to do with being in space. I think it'd have to be in space and then somehow hurtle down to the earth. I think that's probably
that sounds terrifying. Most people would have said like dying in their sleep or something like that, but hurtling in space, that's a whole new level of
I could be asleep at the same time. There's no arguing.
That would be best.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Nice.
That's scary.
It was the space sleeping bag or something like that. I don't know.
You got it all thought out.
All figured out.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, why don't we take a little break and listen to one of your songs from your upcoming release?
Cool.
Yeah. So this is Global Ghost, and this is going to be, what is this? This is a biography of Global Ghost, which is not what I wanted to see.
No. What happened?
But let me see if I can't fix the situation. Where are we, sir?
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
But you mentioned earlier that you have 3 producers working for you, all by the name of Chris.
They're all fired.
Yeah.
They've all been fired just now.
All immediately.
Yes. So this is Savannah Sky.
Awesome.
Let's go with it. All right, so I've just been told something truly astounding, and that's the fact that I wasn't playing any music.
I was worried about that. Oh man! So we just had like a 3-minute pause.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 38 seconds to be exact. But yes, I'm sure everyone appreciated that pause, and thank you, Sir Chris Hagen, for informing me.
I sent you a private message, but apparently you're ignoring me. So.
So I'll try that again when we're done, and then people can listen to the music.
Okay, yeah, you don't need to listen to music. That's not what this is about by any means. Who cares? about the music. You know, it's more about the camaraderie and the chit chat, banter, and
That's
stuff
right.
like that, you know?
So you were an officer at one point of the AOH?
I was actually president. You know, I just showed up at a meeting one day and somebody told me I was president, and I just went with it for 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a cool experience. You know, what's not fun about you know, being from Ireland and living in America, and you know, getting to show off Irish culture to people, and also do a bit of charity work. And you know, we raise quite a bit of money for a lot of organizations, like here in America and in Ireland, the Peter McVerry Trust for homeless people. In Ireland was one. We helped some schools out here in America and Ireland. Fresh Air Homes here in Tybee, some people might know. Lindsay's Place for kids with special needs, and then we did some like community work as well. Well, like we helped raise a lot of money to put in some limestone benches around the Emmett Park Celtic Cross here in downtown Savannah on Bay Street. And we had to work with all the Irish societies. And I don't know, people might not know, there's a ton of Irish societies in this town. Actually, this town is probably more Irish than Ireland, you know, at times anyway. You know, forgive me for saying that for anybody listening back home, but they really take the Irishness seriously here, you know, and it made me kind of want to step my Irish game up a little bit, you know. It's like, oh yeah, I should probably know a few more things about, you know, Ireland and stuff like that. But one of the things we did is we worked with all of the Irish societies, helped raise money and put these, what I think they're pretty cool, these engraved limestone benches. We actually got the limestone out of a quarry in County Wicklow, Ireland, where the original cross came from. Oh, wow. So it's kind of cool, and they're hopefully permanent there. You know, it's nice to do something that's kind of for this town that's like at least long lasting, you know. And who would have known that there's just no benches around this cross? You just couldn't sit down and enjoy it before. So now people can, and it's cool to drive by there and see people sitting having their lunch, and you know, maybe having a cheeky pint in a plastic cup while admiring our handiwork, you know. So yeah, it was good. It's good, and there's a lot of good people in the AOH, you know. And look forward to the meetings starting back up. You know, people probably, anyone that's in the AOH listening to this is probably like, yeah, right, he's not coming back. Just like they're probably given up saying that about you, you know?
Yeah, I tried, and I think I went maybe to one meeting a year, paid my dues every year, of course, and to a couple of road bowling events for sure, because that's always a spectacle.
Yeah, and drinking a pint of Guinness on a one Thursday night a month is just so hard, you know. I know the feeling. It's just, you know.
Incredibly difficult.
Yeah, but no, like, we all get busy, don't we? Have other things going on in lives. It's hard to juggle everything, you know. So you got to pick your battles and pick your priorities. That's what being a grown up is about, apparently.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Not to lecture you on being.
No, I need a lecture every now and then.
Yeah.
I was actually just lecturing the guy backstage about his drinking, and
oh yeah. Never shared that bourbon, did he?
He never did.
Is he still passed out?
He's been kind of like every now and then a few words will come out of his mouth or indecipherable.
Like a groan or two.
Yeah. He's still sleeping it off.
Yeah. Just whack him over the head, you know. And
I will. I've actually kicked him a number of times. He seems to really take to that. He likes being kicked while he's down.
Yeah, that's why he's there. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. And you know, it's cathartic for you. It helps get, you know, some pandemic rage out. You know, we all need a bit of that.
Is that actually a thing? Pandemic rage?
Probably. I mean, I think I feel it from time to time. You know, the F is going on in this world. You know, the not being able to go out anywhere, do anything, working all the time, minding kids all the time, and just trying to make sense of all of this. If it doesn't result in some kind of rage, then something's wrong, I would say.
I feel it boiling up right now.
Yeah. We'll kick that man back there again. Give him a kick there. Yeah. Nice. Feel better now?
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
Right.
So I guess you mentioned when the album's coming out. It's coming out later in the summer.
Yeah. It's that, like I said, I have the advantage now of having more resources available, in the sense that some people are less busy, but then again, there's some things that, like, it takes a little bit more time with not being able to meet in person, not being able to perform together. There's this back and forth. You lay down a track and you're like, how does this sound? It's like, yeah, that's great, but like, we need to do it again, kind of thing. Adds time to it. So so I'm hopeful. I have on the website, there's an unfinished version of the album if anybody wants to check out demo work, including the 2 songs on Spotify.
Let's see if I can't add that in for people so they can see it.
Cool.
Yeah.
You haven't had a good luck so far with the technical.
I haven't had any good luck so far with technology.
We'll call it
so the music is here, globalghostmusic.com/songs.
Yeah.
And I'm going to paste that into the chat so people can see it.
Sweet.
There it is.
So these are kind of more, the few songs that are on there are kind of more demo work. So they need, we've got 2 or 3 more songs to come, including Idolize, which, like I said, should hopefully be out next week. And then a couple more songs on top of that, and then polish up some of the kind of a couple of the songs that haven't been mixed yet on there, professionally mixed at least. And then hopefully we'll be able to call it an album soon.
Awesome. So I'm going to try this
these days. Anyway, that's the thing I struggle with. It's just like, I could just keep an album going forever and just keep adding songs to this album. And, what does it mean? I think, most people these days just seem to put out songs. Like, does the album mean anything anymore? I think it was like when you had to fit a certain number of songs on a CD or record or something like that. It's like, well, we got to figure out a way to make sense of it all, but we don't really have to do that anymore. So I don't know. I go back and forth. I feel definitely like a collection of songs can represent like a certain time in your life or a certain theme, but there's certainly an argument to say, why bother with albums anymore? Some people might find that horrifying. I don't know.
I find it particularly horrifying, but that's if I'm listening to it while plummeting.
Yes, I was going to say, which is more horrifying, the death of the album or, hurtling to your peril in outer space?
My mom is watching, and she did not enjoy that comment at all. So that's from earlier when I was telling of my death.
Oh, yeah. Moms probably don't want to hear that.
I got to say, Mom, at least I got the space.
Or some might.
Yeah. I'm going to try and play your song again, and Chris Hagen's going to be on top of it to tell me that he can't hear it again. But I believe this time I've got the technology right, or at least
good job,
my
Chris.
Intern, Jeff, who I just hired.
We should probably talk about Chris a little bit too.
Yeah, why don't we talk about Chris a little bit?
Yeah, well, he's an awesome musician, and he's done an excellent job of the guitar. My original collaborator and guitar player, Tom Townsend, decided he didn't want to perform live. I mean, he still kind of helps me with with the production side of things, and we joke about he's like maybe the Brian Wilson of the group. Although I feel disgusting comparing myself to the Beach Boys. It's just not right, but you know, he kind of he's a musical genius. So if he wants to be involved still in this thing, I'm all about it, you know. So, but I needed a guitar player, and Chris, like we talked about earlier, Chris and I have been friends for years, and he's a phenomenal guitar player, and so he was awesome and stepped up and started playing. He horrified me a little bit by, you know, one thing that's very important to me is, you know, what your musical influences are, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd much rather play with musicians that have similar music tastes and maybe not technically brilliant than the other way around. And Chris told me, I asked him who his favorite band of all time was, and I was horrified to find out it was U2. Well, you know, I don't know if he was just saying that because he's like, oh, Brian's Irish, you probably like that, you know.
No, I know that for a fact that is his favorite band.
Yeah,
so he's not lying to you at all.
Yeah, right. So, you know, I was.
I'm sorry you find that horrifying. That is actually, my wife is known to say that if Bono showed up at the door, she would leave me.
Okay, well,
even though he ages me, I mean, he's probably 15 years older than me.
It sounds like if the mailman showed up at the door, she might leave me. You know? Yeah, it's just a matter of time. I've actually we ran into Bono one time, a long time ago. Walking on the beach, and it was he was walking along with Salman Rushdie, which, you know, Salman Rushdie was in hiding at the time because he'd just written satanic verses. So that was kind of interesting.
That is a really interesting story.
Yeah, I was more interested to see Salman Rushdie than Bono, but
sure.
You know, Bono, he's like equal parts national treasure and national embarrassment in Ireland. You know, you just kind of, you know, like your uncle that you know, you have to invite to weddings and stuff, you know. But,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but to be fair to U2, they've had some brilliant songs over the years. Just, you know, they do obnoxious things like force feed albums onto your iPhone and stuff like that. That you know,
I think we all experience that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, so anyway, Chris proved that wasn't a deal breaker, and you know, he's done an awesome job playing guitar and putting up with my bullshit over the last year or so. So, yeah, I'm happy he's on board.
Yeah, I've known Chris since, well, before I got married, which is a long time.
You don't know. Oh, yeah. No. Yep, the mailman. She's totally going to leave you for the mailman.
I hope not. Well, I'm going to try this one more time so that people can actually hear your music while we're here. And I think, as I said, my intern Jeff that I just hired, he was laying on the floor back here, but I got him up long enough so he could handle it.
Okay, you woke him up for the cause.
I did. He assures me that the effects of the bourbon have mostly worn off.
So, all right.
This is up to you.
See what Jeff can do.
Yeah, we're going to try this time for sure. And Chris is going to let us know if it doesn't work.
I'll try to let you know too if you don't ignore my messages.
Yeah.
I can hear it.
I can hear it. I'm going to turn my mic off, and you give me the thumbs up if you can still hear it.
Just before the night, a glowing world takes flight, and everything is right again in my soul. Savannah sky, you make it right in my soul. Let me float away in your fire, red blue, taking in the sight to get over you. the sky. You make it right in my soul. Savannah sky, stay with me tonight. Never let me down. Looking up from the ground. Life is good when you surround. Savannah sky, you make it right in my soul. Savannah sky, stay with me tonight.
What did I do?
Nice job.
Thanks.
You did it, Chris.
Jeff, you're fired.
Oh, come on. You got the song going.
He did get the song going. I hadn't paid him yet, though, so I needed to get him out the door. Oh, we got another song playing almost immediately.
Oh,
that was Blood Moon.
Oh, okay. I reckon, I think that's a good one, too. Check it out on Spotify.
Absolutely. Well, Brian, I'm looking forward to having your complete album, if not unfinished forever album, because you never finish an album is what I got.
Yeah. You never know.
It could be 100 songs long. It could be 50 songs long.
That sounds like a good goal. 100 songs long album would be like, I'm pretty sure that would be a first, so you've inspired me. I now have a new goal.
That's great. I'm glad that I could give you a goal. Hopefully someone else out there has been given a goal, but hopefully it's not plummeting from 2 miles above the earth.
Yeah, well, that song Savannah Sky is supposed to be about, drawing inspiration from the world around you, and so hopefully that song drew some inspiration, not just the hurtling out of space thing, but
God no.
But it's really about supposed to be about like reaching a turning point in your life, and hopefully in this madness that we're finally reaching a turning point, and we're all hoping to go back to normal sooner rather than later, and so I don't know. That's what I hear when I listen to that song.
Yeah. Is it weird to listen to your own music?
Yes and no. I mean, I listen to that song and I think of that church bell solo, like I listen to that and think of just what an awesome job Tom Townsend did with that. You know, when we talked about the song a number of years ago, you know, I wrote it I came up with the inspiration for it in a courtyard down in Jones Street, and you know, we had one of those you know, famous like Savannah sunsets just light up the buildings, and it seemed like the church bells of the church next door just started ringing at the same time, and it was like, okay, this is just amazing. Things are going to get better. And when Tom and I talked about the production of it, you know, I said, Tom, I really think we need to figure out a way to get church bells in it. And I kind of just gave him the rough idea, what I was hearing in my head. And then he just took it and just made that amazing church bell solo. And I think there's not too many songs that I can think of that have church bell solos in them. So, you know, I thought it worked out pretty good. And that's, you know, when I hear that song, that's what I listen to. It's like that's pretty cool. And I'm glad that we try to do that, you know?
Yeah, it is really cool. I like the message behind it too. It's something that we can all see together, even from the insides of our houses. We can see the same Savannah sky.
Yeah, it's something like, is it just me? I don't know. It's never been anywhere else. I think of all the places I've been in the world where it quite has those evening skies than Savannah. It's like when you look up, sometimes it's like you just feel this direct connection with you know, with something ethereal, God, or, you know, something beyond kind of, you know, the day-to-day life. I think, you know, I've drawn a lot of inspiration from just Savannah itself, its beauty, and it's just a very haunting place to live. And I think it definitely is a large, you know, player in all of my songs and my songwriting. I don't know if I would even be writing songs if I hadn't moved to Savannah, you know. So yeah, there's just something magical or enchanting about this place, and I think everybody you talk to knows it. Nobody can really put their finger on it. It's a little bit of like, I think people that have grown up here don't see it at all. I don't think, you know, because I was kind of that way with where I grew up, you know, where people will come visit Dublin and be like, this is amazing. Like they would see things, almost see different colors that I wouldn't see. You know, they would see the history and the culture and the old buildings, and I'd just be like, it's a shithole, you know. It's, you know, traffic is bad, you know, it's dirty, it's loud, there's too many people. Like, what are you talking about, you know? But now that I've been removed from Ireland for a while, I look now when I go back to Ireland, I get it, I see it. And I think when you're like in it, like people in Savannah that have lived here their whole lives, they kind of, you get desensitized to it, I guess, a little bit. It's like, it's what you're used to. But for people that come from out of town, you know, it's just like this otherworld place that just, like, I think it just inspires creativity, you know, whether you're in the Front Porch Improv group or you're, you know, the Savannah Performance, in the Savannah Performance Project. Yep, there you go. Shout out. Or, you know, you're a songwriter. It's a large part of it. And, you know, I don't know. I feel like that we're in a, you know, when you just ignore the pandemic for a minute, I think Savannah is like reaching a point of cultural creativity where there's things are just starting to happen. You know, you've got that One West Victory. Is that what it's called? A beautiful music venue that I hope to play in one day, and bringing all these great acts into town. And it's
Victory North.
Victory North. Sorry.
Yeah. I was. My wheels were turning up here. There's.
Yeah, I know he's talking about something, but.
And then of course Front Porch opened their venue like right before all this started. So
yeah, I know.
If you're looking for someone to support right now, they're a great group to support. I watched their show this weekend, Saturday nights. I think it was Bad Boss was the theme of the show. So they were doing improv based on people's stories of their most horrible bosses.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was laughing my ass off. So I appreciate that.
We did the secrets one. That was cool.
Yeah.
It's great to see just how, it's amazing, like for an online thing, just how many people, watch that, not I mean, they do an amazing show. It's just like there are hundreds of people like that stream that, who else gets that kind of viewership in this, at this time. So that's cool.
Really not me. I have one person watching right now. So shout out to whoever that is.
I know one person.
It's been going back and forth. We've gone up, I think we went up to 8. We had 8 people at one point, but we're down to 1. So I don't know what that means. I don't think it means anything. Yeah. I don't really care.
Maybe they'll log in later and discover
that's exactly what happens. They will log in. They will hear that I'm interviewing you, and they'll be like, "Yes, we have to watch this. This is going to be."
or we we scare them all away forever. I don't know, but they got to see this great dynamic that we have going on. It's
exactly
Shane,
me, you, and Jeff, and the 3 Chris's.
And the 3 Chris's, and then the 4th Chris. Chris Hagen.
Phone support with Chris Hagen.
He might as well get a production credit at this point.
I think so.
Yeah,
he does. Usually we have another Chris as well, and that's Chris Susi with Odd Lot Improv. He usually comes in and chimes in and lets me know if my facts are wrong. So he's not here today,
well, at this point, it's just there's too many Chris's.
There are.
We got to do something about this.
That's my autobiography.
Too many Chris's.
Yes.
.com.
All right, Brian, I could go on and talk to you for at least another 5 minutes.
Yeah. But, I was thinking 3, 4 tops, but the 5, that sounds about right.
But yeah, this has been cool. I can't wait to actually see you play somewhere with either Chris or Tom or some other Eric, Britt,
Andrew, or
Andrew, or
we're looking. We're
mega group that you can form would be awesome.
Yeah, we're really looking for our band really needs a string player, a violin or cello player. So if there's anybody out there, one of you, that knows somebody that's looking to get involved and can play some strings.
It's odd you say that, but I had a violin player reach out to me last week.
No way.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's kismet. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll send his information your way, and you may see it, and you'll be like, "Not on earth," but I'll go ahead and do it anyway.
Oh no, no, I just think it would add a whole, especially live. I mean, to have a string player would just be a whole new ball game. So I'm very interested, and why don't you forward them, or forward them the link to the songs or something if they like them.
I'll do that. Cool. But that being said, let's say adieu.
Really?
We say that. Is that an Irish term? I don't think it is.
That's how we're doing this. We're doing adieu. Out of all the ways to end this,
sometimes I'm at a loss for adieu.
Well, Slán go fóill is the Gaelic for see you soon.
Slán go fóill.
Yeah, without sounding like a leprechaun, though.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's my default. I either sound like a leprechaun
or a pirate.
I sound like Harry O'Donoghue, or I sound like Father McCarthy. Those are the 3.
I would go with Father McCarthy. I
think you're right.
Yeah, he's a great man.
Yes, he is.
But yeah, the other, so when people do Irish accents, it's usually either leprechaun or pirate. Those are the 2 choices. So
sad.
Yeah. So Slán go fóill.
Slán go fóill. Is that better?
Not really.
One day I'll get it.
Yeah, keep working on it.
All right, I'll keep working on it. Brian, you have a great day.
You too. Thanks. All right. I love what you're doing, man. This is the Savannah Performance Project is great. I've watched a few shows, and you're getting, you're really good at it, and keep it up, man.
Thank you.
It's a cool thing to do for Savannah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, we'll see you soon, I'm sure.
And that was $50. Was that what we agreed upon?
It's around that. Well, we'll see. Jeff actually used most of that money already. So.
Oh, that's what paid for the bourbon.
Yes,
I got it. Now.
That was our bourbon budget.
figured it all out.
Yep, exactly. All right. We'll see you later, Brian.
Have a good one, Chris.
You too.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Brian. That was a lot of fun. You can hang out for a minute if you want to talk afterwards. We can, or if you feel like enjoying the rest of your day, you can do that too. But this has been Savannah Performance Project, The Interview, and that's the last time I will sign off that way.